Hello, I'm Sissy from Book Savvy Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. Now, I saw this on Zoe Reed's channel. I'll supply her channel link below. And I'm kind of cheating because I've had my channel for a while, but I slacked on posting tags, reviews, and fun things. So here we go, and I'm going to answer some questions so you get to know me. Number 1, where are you joining us from? I'm from the USA, and if you can't tell, sometimes I get a little accent that's thrown in there. I'm from Massachusetts, so wicked pissa. Number 2, how old are you? You know, you're not supposed to ask a lady that question, but because we're all friends here, I am 30 years old. Number 3, why did you join Booktube? Well, I love talking about books, and all of my family members, while they do love talking about books, they don't like to hear about it all the time, and I just spew about books nonstop. I can compare kind of like everything to a book, and it's gotten to the point where everybody's like, how did we know that you were gonna relate this to a book somehow? So that is why I joined. Number 4, what is the meaning behind your channel name? Well, Sissy Lou is a nickname, and Book Savvy Reviews is kind of like linked into that. I'm book savvy. All of my friends kind of ask me for book recommendations, and then Sissy is a childhood nickname. So it's not my real name, but it is a childhood nickname that I've had since birth. So, Number 5, what are the books that you want to talk about on here or that you read? Me, I'm a fantasy girl. I love fantasy worlds. I will often read YA fantasy. I haven't really read any adult fantasy in a while because I've just been sucked into the YA world. It's just easier to read than the adult fantasy, but I'll get back to that more once we're later in the tag and I can talk to you about that. But I love fantasy. I will read anything, whether it's romance, contemporary, a little bit of thriller, mystery, really anything, I will read it. But the top thing is fantasy. You'll always see a fantasy book in my hand. Number 6, what are some of your favorite authors to read? Okay, I'm going to just list my automatic buy. No questions asked, not really any reading done about them. I'm just gonna list off my automatic buys. A.G. Howard is one. I loved her Splintered series, which is a young adult Alice in Wonderland retelling. I love Gracen. I found her by mistake. I read her Master of Crows book and I absolutely fell in love with her. I love her writing style. I love everything about her. That's adult fantasy. I love Jacqueline Carey. She was recommended to me by my friend Val, and I fell in love with her stuff. And also A.R. Collar. I found his work through Kindle Unlimited, and I loved his Immortal Circus stuff. I love Cam Robinson. She has a Goldilocks retelling that's out, and yeah, I could go on with all these, but I'm gonna keep it really simple and stop there, even though I don't want to. Number 7, what is the last book that you read? Okay, well, I did a buddy read with my friend Ashley, and we buddy read the sequel in the Stolen Songbird series, and that was Hidden Huntress. That was a really difficult read for me, and we were both kind of screaming at each other during the book with our frustrations, and I'm going to be posting a review on my website, so I will post the link below to that if you have any questions about what I thought. Number 8, what are you currently reading? I am currently reading an Alice in Wonderland retelling by J.M. Sullivan. It's called Alice, the Wonderland Chronicles. It takes place in Phoenix, Arizona. There's been a virus that has been spread, and it turns everybody into a zombie or a Mamarath, and you're either a carrier, which means you have the virus in you, or you're not. And Alice's sister Dinah has been a carrier, and she's fallen ill, and Alice has to go on this quest, journey, adventure, whatever you want to call it, to find a cure for her sister. She meets the Hatter, the White Rabbit, the Cheshire Cat. They're all in there, and the Red Queen, we can't forget her, and Ace. And the Knight. I just keep getting all these characters popping in my head. We meet all of them, but they're not as you remember them. There are clever subliminal texts in the book, and it's a real retelling of the story that we all know. I mean, if you can't tell by that pillow back there, I absolutely love everything that's Alice. So check it out, and I'll supply the link below. Number 9, what do you use for bookmarks? I kind of use everything. I actually do have a stash of bookmarks that I use, but my friend actually recently just got into making magnetic bookmarks, and I've been using the ones that I have from her. And this is Abby from NCIS. And I don't know if you can see, but it says, "I am one of the few people who can murder and leave no forensic evidence. Abby." Yeah, but I use these. I just find that I can actually, because it has the magnet, I can go through a couple pages, and I can set goals for myself. If I'm having a hard time getting into a paperback, I can set goals and just clip it. So that is what I use, and I'll supply the link to that. That is a Lit Nerd bookmark, so check it out. That's by Wheezy Darling. Number 10, show us your TBR pile. Okay, I actually have a lot of ebooks that I need to read, and I also have to go through all of my physical library. But this is what I have in my bedroom. I just moved, so my books are kind of scattered everywhere, and a lot are in storage in the basement. But this is my recent TBR that I have. And we have Slammed, It Ends With Us, Queens of Geek, A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, The Falling by T. Damon, and Geekerella. So I'm not a huge fantasy, yeah, I am a huge fantasy person. I'm not a huge contemporary person, but I absolutely love anything that has to do with nerdism or geeks. One of my favorite books was actually Smart Girl by Rachel Hollis. If you haven't read it, I really suggest you do, because it has, like, you can really relate to it, because it has the mentality of a fangirl who has lived and loved in 1,000 fandoms. So check it out. Number 11, which do you prefer? Hardcover, paperback, or ebook? Okay, well, I'm a reviewer for publishers and authors, so mostly all of my books come in the e-version, which I love, because it's easy. I can read it at night without having to really be concerned about my little light shining in my husband's face, or, you know, that kind of stuff. It's easy to get. I don't have to wait. It's instant. I love paperbacks because I'm on Instagram and I can take beautiful pictures. I can pose with them. I can, you know, I love the feel, the smell, and just the way that you can submerge yourself into a physical page. I do not like hard books. I don't like hardbacks, and I'm going to tell you why. I like how durable they are, but if they come with a sleeve, I am neurotic about the sleeve. I don't like the sleeve getting crumpled. I don't like it getting lost. I have kids, so it's a possibility that all of the above might happen. I like them in pictures. I like them durability wise. It just drives me up the wall when that sleeve gets damaged, either crinkled, ripped, heaven forbid. So yeah, I just get really neurotic about that. And even though my paperbacks will get the rounded edges, let me show you. So I'm going to use Colleen Hoover's Slammed, which is on my to be read list. Right here will end up getting rounded on a paperback, but I do not break spines when I read. When I read, I open up like maybe that much. So my spine never really gets stressed out. And actually I've had people tell me that, did you even read that book? Because it doesn't even look like you've even opened it. And I tell them that I just really stress out over keeping my books in pristine condition. So there's that answer. Question number 12. What series got me into reading? All right, I had a hard time reading when I was little. I couldn't submerge myself into a story. So yeah, I'd read Dr. Seuss, I'd read Clifford, Frog and Toad, but I never really read until I was a little bit older. I was 12, 13 years old. And the first series that I actually read that really got me into reading was Julie of the Wolves, and I cannot remember off the top of my head right now who the author was. But Julie of the Wolves is about this girl who is lost in the tundra, and this pack of wolves adopts her, and she has to learn to be a wolf to survive. She has to hunt with the pack. She has to take care of the wolf pups. She has to even eat wolf regurgitated food to survive. And she just forms this bond with the family of wolves and ends up loving them and visits them even after she's rescued, and has to deal with her father who wants to hunt and kill, and even she finds out that he's the one who killed the alpha that was kind of like her adoptive father, if you will, while she was in the tundra. So yeah, that was the first series that really got me into reading, and I love those books so much. So yeah. Number 13, how did you discover Booktube? Well, I've always known that Booktube has been there, but I kind of got ensnared into it because my friend K.M. Robinson was putting on this Booktube school, and she was teaching book bloggers how to create their own Booktube channel. And I wasn't keen on the idea because I actually get really fumbly on camera, and I get really dorky, awkward, you know. Number 14, what are some challenges you think you'll face on your channel? Well, I'm a mom of 2, and that is a challenge in itself, trying to find time and quiet time to film without kids running in. And yeah, my other challenge, I think, is finding time to film content or look up content. I'll always have books that I can review, but I find that, at least for me, I don't want to always hear about reviews. I can read that. I can read fast, and just to listen to somebody drone on about a review, I don't really want that. Small highlights, okay. But I want something that's going to interest you. So do me a favor, and what topics do you want to hear about? Because that's going to help me with my challenges that I'm going to be facing on my channel, is to keep things interesting, keep things lively, because I have to make myself more personable on a camera because I'm actually a very shy person. Number 15, it brings us to the last question, and that is, where else can you find me? Well, I have a blog that is www.booksavvyreviews.com. I'm also on Facebook, which is Book Savvy Reviews. I'm on Goodreads. You can look me up. I'm Sissy Lou. I'm on Instagram, which is Book Savvy Sissy. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, Litzy is a new app. It's only an app. You can't visit it as a website. Litzy is like Bookstagram and Goodreads had a baby. It is all about books. It is for the complete and utter lit nerd because it is just books. You can shelf books on your to-read list. You can get Litfluence. So if people like your pictures, if people shelf books, comment, your Litfluence goes up. It's fun. It really is. It is what the book lover of Instagram wishes was actually there. And there it is now. It is just an actual bookstagram, but it's for littens, as they call themselves.